What's up, guys? I just recorded a 35-minute video talking about exactly what I'm about to break down. And I wasn't, I had my, it was literally this simple. My mic, see, so the whole time, 35 minutes of my life is gone. Yes, it's unmuted. So we're going to have to redo the whole video right now. Hold on. I haven't posted a video in about a month or so. So I thought, oh, I'm MIA. I got to lock in. Let's make a video. I'm going to be breaking down one of my favorite Confluences of all time, internals. When you see levels, I'm also going to try to make this way quicker because 35 minutes, I know not one single person watching this right now would do that. So we're going to break down internals. A lot of the entries that you see me taking are based off internals when they're very high RR. This trade was a 16 RR that I took last week on gold. And this was based off an internal. So let's get into it. Boom. We're going to be going over an NQ example and a gold example. Okay. Now this Confluence, first thing I'm going to talk about, is this all set? Yeah, we're already a minute in. We're good. We're good on time. Don't just fully utilize, if you guys know, I purely trade the higher time frame. But when you learn, if you're going to learn and adapt this Confluence into your model, please do not take like random internals. You need to have some Confluence behind it, level behind it, POI, right? Like I'm gonna try to do like a smaller example because I just went over like a whole higher time frame level I had over here, based off of a PO3 refined order block that I utilize. Which refined order block, make it simple. It's a manipulation leg inside of an OB. So basically, like the level was. Let's just go to the 4 hour. It was based off this 4 hour OB, right? And then we identified the manipulation leg. Wait, was it? Hold on. No, it wasn't. Wait, was it the hourly OB? Oh my god. Yes, it was. I was right the first time. Okay, but yeah, we're not gonna go over all that. Let me lock in. So the first step, so just have some, just keep that in mind. Don't just like full send these because you'll lose a lot. I'm gonna show random examples, random time frames, so I know you guys don't think I'm just showing winners. When you're learning a Confluence learning model, whatever it is, you need to see both sides. You need to see wins, losses, identify like why price is, why the level was invalid. I'm gonna break down exactly why levels are invalid, levels that are valid, so you're not just going into using this Confluence blindly and actually seeing losses, right? Because I'm guarantee that one of the random time frames, random levels that I'm going to scroll and find, which you'll see, I'll make it very random, is going to lose. And it's good to see the losing aspect of a Confluence or a model, right? Because then you can learn. So the time frames that I use is the 15-minute and up. 15-minute all the way up to the daily. 15-minute is my favorite time frame forever, but it's also one of my favorite time frames for internals. So we're going to be using that 15, the 30, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. My two favorite are the 15-minute and the 4 hour. Boom. Okay, so keep that in mind. These are the time frames that you're going to be using for internals. Now, don't get internals mixed up with fair value gaps, right? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just a fair value gap, but no, it's not. Okay, I don't use fair value gaps like that, but you're going to see when I break this down. So keep that in mind. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up Google. I'm going to say, pick a number between 1 and 5. Okay, boom, we got 1. So that means we're going to use the 15-minute, right? Because I had 15-minute, 30, 15, 30, hourly, 4 hour, and daily. That's 5 time frames. I had Google pick a random time frame, so you guys know it's not bullshit, right? We're going to go to the 15-minute, and we're going to, how should I do this? Whatever high or low is closest to my mouse, we're going to do. Boom. Okay, here we are. Okay. So I think it was this high right here. Okay. So let's see what we're working with and if I can find an internal, which I already see. So this is beautiful. So you guys saw I was turned around. I chose Google to pick a number. We're just going to find a level, find an internal, an entry, etc. And we're going to start with the 15-minute, which this whole level can be broken down on the 15-minute. I already know this is inside OTE. I already see the internal. I see the PD array. I see the order block. I see the manipulation. I see a rejection block as an entry. Boom, that's all you fucking need. So the first thing we're gonna look at, I can get crazy into this too of going into sessions, time base, all this and that, but we're not gonna go too crazy because I don't wanna make this video too long because your guys' attention spans are fried. So OTE of this range, bada beam, bada boom. So we already have a POI. We don't wanna be trading under anything. I don't trade anything on NQ under 6.2, right? So this order block right here, invalid, right? So the range we're going to be looking at is 6.2 to 709. Beautiful, right? So now we need to find, why did I delete that? Now we need to find an internal high because we're going to be looking for a short because that was the high. I just turned around. We were pretty close to this high, right? We were literally on it. So now we have to find an internal that's under OTE, all right? So we could try, there is 6.2 and 6.65. Yes, this high looks, oh, why don't you trade this rejection block here? We'll get into that. But the reason we're not is because of internals, right? This exact video is based off internals. So we already have an internal now. If we're going to be trading off of this internal, we're not using anything under, 6.65, 6.2 all the way to equilibrium is invalid now. So now we just want to be looking at 705 to 7.9. Beautiful. Now that we have a POI, what is a PD array we want to identify to the left because we do want to validate that we should continue here. Looking at the 15-minute, I can see we accumulated, we manipulated, and then we broke the range here. You can see we also respected this high. And if we have an SMT right here, I'm not going to go OD and look for this. Actually, Tuesday the 30th. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Tuesday the 30th. I'm quick with this. Wait. What month? June. Tuesday 30th, June. Boom. Where am I? Tuesday the 30th, June. July 30th. Right here. I found it. Tuesday the 30th, June at 8:45 p.m. We're on. We're so on. Okay. Tuesday 30th. Where am I? 8:30 p.m. Oh my god. Okay, here we are. Holy shit. Okay. 8:30. Wait. 8:45 was the high on NQ. Oh my god, this level is so perfect. Oh. Okay. Wow. What a pick. Okay, so 8:45. You can see 9:45 the next hourly time base. Here we go. Yeah, 8:45. Yeah, 9:45. Boom. We swept that high. This is 4 a.m. Oh wait, yeah, 9:45. Yeah, right here. 9:45. We failed to take the high on NQ. ES took the high. So now we have an SMT. Oh my god. So now this is a protected high. So let's go SMT protected high. Okay. So now that we've identified a protected high, an SMT, now this OTE range is going to be more valid. This level is going to be stronger, right? Now that we're actually having some idea of, inside. This also could be an internal play with an SMT on the higher time frame. Like we probably have like an unmitigated hourly or 4-hour gap that we traded into with this SMT. So that's perfect. So nice. Now that we have that, we want to identify the manipulation. On the 15-minute, this is how I use order blocks. You could see this is what took the high. We failed to break it, created that SMT. So I'm going to be using this range here. All right. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. So now we have the low of the refined order block, right? The manipulation inside of a order block, which we can go on the higher time frame, and we'll look at time frame alignment at the end. But I'm just starting with the 15-minute because that's what Google picked. So now where do we have? Going back, we said we're only going to be looking at anything above this internal. We're not looking at anything under this internal on the 15-minute. So we're looking at 425 as an entry, all the way up to 440.25. So now we have a 17-point range that we can take a short. Now, what are you going to take? just find a rejection block to take an entry. Boom, 15-minute. What aligns with this 15-minute rejection block? Oh, the low of our 15-minute refined order block. So your entry is going to be either CE the 15-minute, or what I would take would be 432. Don't want to get missed off of a what? 3-point difference. What? And then your stop is going to be at the high of the 15-minute because it's above the highest point we want to see price go to, which is 440. Now, if we really want to get into it, we can be watching price at this time when that entry presented itself and see if ES or NQ is leading. This gets in depth. So this would be 4 a.m. and you can see this is 4 a.m. Holy shit. So ES is leading. ES took the high again of this range. So we created another SMT, which is a much larger SMT. And then you could see we continued lower, right? Boom, bada beam, bada boom. Internals, right? And again, what is internals like? What is the whole point of internals? Why am I, looking even at this high as a point? Well, first off, it invalidates all the other areas that I could have identified on multiple time frames for an entry. It can help me identify the highest point or the lowest point for an entry. And then also it's going to give me that strong push. When you have a high RR model, you need to have some form of, generated highs, generated lows, LRLR, or internals to give you, which is liquidity, to give you a natural and aggressive move to the downside. Because if you get caught in consolidation or just get, obviously instantly ran through, which happens to me all the time, internals is going to help you a lot because then you're going to get that aggressive move down. Okay. So there is the first example. Just take this to sell side. 12R, just about 130 points. Could have, personally me, like just what I would have done is like my draw is like, all the way down here. It's like, this is a trade that I would take because I'm just like that. But anyways, yeah, you get the gist. So boom, nice. First level done and done. Now we could have also looked at other time frames, but I'm not going to do that for that example. That was just the basic understanding. Now next is going to be, let's go to gold. Okay. Now I'm going to find more of a solid, I'm not going to do all the randomized stuff for this one because I want you guys to really see I want to show you guys a really good setup. Like right here, I already know, right? And also, if you learn internals, you're going to identify people who look for continuations off certain legs. It's just going to validate continuation plays, which is going to make you just a way better trader. So first off, this is what CPI. You can either do OTE of the CPI leg, which you'd want to do that on a different time frame. But anyways, you know what? I'm going to give you guys some fucking sauce right now. Watch this. We're going to line this internal with the CPI leg on gold. I've never done this. On gold, I've never done this, but we're going to see. So we're going to go in the 1 minute, CPI low to CPI high. Wait, wrong way. My bad. You guys ready for this sauce? Go back to the 15-minute. Now we're going to line OTE of that CPI leg with a level. So with gold, we always see the deepest retrace is known to man, right? You guys know this. I can't see the prices. Holy crap. Okay, there we go. So we're going to mark out 079. The lowest level I use is 705 on gold. So I'll just mark it out. 80. It's a 0.1 difference. Cry about it. I literally cannot see this, bro. 085.3. Okay. And then 088 is going to be the highest point, which is 90.9. And I didn't have the line tool on. 90.9. Okay, boom. Now we have our CPI legs marked out for shorts. You can see the 080.1, which is the 705 level. This cooked, absolutely cooked, 2-point stop right here. And then targeting, whatever you want to target, right? This is just I'm not even going over what this video is about, but I'm just giving you guys some sauce on CPI legs as well, or how I use them with NQ and gold. But this is a good case because we're going to be looking at an internal, right? So even though this would have been a good short as well, oh my god, that would have been a really good short because then you just have the 15-minute ARP. Oh my god. Okay, but now going back to internals, obviously we're not going to be taking 080.1 because that's under the internal. The internal in this case is going to be this high. So what the idea would be is we want to use this bearish leg here, which we're also going to line up OTE. Oh, 90.9. And I would have got missed on this trade. I would have took 90.9 unless we have something else on the other time frames, which I'm going to break down to 15 minutes in. We're doing good on time. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this leg. We want to identify a level, definitely in this consolidation, and use this internal as a sweep and get a premium of this leg to then get short to then make a new low of the 23. So we already have our draw, which would have been the 23 low. That would be the TP of this trade. Internal to external. Simple. So, now that we have OTE, we have an idea. 0.79 should be the highest point, which is 90.9. Also 0.88 of our CPI leg. So now let's go align timeframes and find a level here. So the first thing we're looking at, we can also pull up silver to see if we have an SMT. Oh my gosh. I love silver. You can see I'm always straight on the shit. Okay. Where is CPI? What? Hold on. Give me a second. Tuesday the 14th. I see you, CPI. There she is. Okay. Thursday. Wednesday. Where is CPI, bro? These all look like CPI legs. Am I tripping? Hold on. My bad. 5:30 a.m. Yes. Tuesday the 14th. I'm on the 8th. I'm in 80. Wait. What? Oh. I was going way farther back. All right. Okay. Now that we're on silver with CPI, just like the first level in NQ, we obviously would prefer an SMT or some type of internal or whatever it is. You can also see that we traded into this NWOG with CPI, which, oh my God, don't even get me started on the short with CPI. It would have been juicy. You could have anyways, gold, CPI high, which is the data high. Well, it's only 15 minutes, but whatever it is. We did not take it out at 8 a.m. Silver, however, at 8 a.m. did. All right, which makes this even better. So now we have an SMT. Same exact example with the NQ. We're going to deem this as a protected high. And something I've realized about all my videos I'm making is it always starts out slow in the beginning. Me yapping, the levels are kind of mid, kind of just yap. But once it gets more in depth and I get my groove, then we start moving. So the people who stay longer in my videos, they learn more and they're just better. Anyways, yeah, so SMT, now this is a protected high. So now this validates the range even more. Perfect, beautiful. So you can deem this on gold as a refined order block as well. I know that manipulation leg didn't take the high. However, it created an SMT, silver did, so it's still a manipulation leg here. All right, this also is a very good entry, which don't even get me started on all this. But anyways, so what leg manipulated with this 15-minute range, because we're staying on the 15-minute, body high to a body, or body low to body high that broke the range, right? So now we have another POI that we want to be inside of. I would have most definitely got missed on this level because I would have took 90.9 any day ever, because we have so much alignment there. Anyway, stop. Okay, nice. So we've identified a POI, we've identified everything, a level. Now we want to find entry point. Now really going to see if I would take 90.9. Just going to go to the 4 hour. Do we have any key opens here? Yes, we have our 10 a.m. open as well. Makes it even better. Right here, so we have a key open. Boom. Hourly, under 90.9, so I went up, took it. Highest point, again, we want to see is 90.9. 30-minute, I don't see anything. 15-minute, I don't see anything. 5-minute, I don't. Actually, No, that's, I mean, it's valid, but it's just not. You could take this 5-minute RB as an entry. How far is that from 90.9? It's just the 5-minute I already know is going to be like perfect with this 15-minute as well. So yeah, it's a valid entry. I want to say I would take it. I wouldn't. I would have took 90.9. I would have got missed. But again, I would have. You can always take continuation play. But yeah, now we have 3 levels. Boom. All the lowest time frame you guys know I use for entries is 5 minutes. So that's the 5-minute RB inside of this range. Those always randomly cook. Like if it's a 5-minute with like a 1-minute order block or a 1-minute rejection block, it's gonna cook. Like yeah, you could see it's just gonna cook. 80.5 looked like a really good level too because we had our 10 a.m. open just a bit under it, and we have this 1-minute OB. So that was a pretty saucy level if you ask me. But anyways, yeah. So there is multiple levels. I would have took 90.9, got missed. If I took 85.3. I would have got stopped out. I would have ran probably a 2.5 point stop. In this case, I wouldn't have given it room over this 88 level because then I would just think price would be coming to my 90.9. And I'm not going to be risking 6 points unless my draw is like these lows or something, which I mean, that would have still like fried too, but that's not the whole. Is this the trade I took? No. Okay. I was like, hold on. This looks exactly like the gold. This trade that I took. I don't even know when that was. Or it was last week. But okay. Holy. There's the gap. So yeah. There's internals. Again, the idea of this is it's just going to invalidate any area of this reversal leg, any area here, and yeah, that's the gold example for internals. I'm going to break down one more example, which would be like a risky internal play that I would take. Which is when we're with gold. This is only what I do on gold, not NQ, unless it's specific to a key open with NQ. But gold, we'll go on the hourly. When you see, let me just show some areas. This, where's like where are we generating highs at? This right here, this range here, this. Okay, so what's similar with all these? It's a range where we have generated highs and generated lows. Okay, we'll just go over the most recent example where I would have took an internal, and let's try. I want to find a loser. So if we're looking at, we'll just do Friday and Thursday, like just basically last week. If we're looking at, I mean, for any of these to be valid, we would need an SMT with this low because that's what you'd want to deem as protected. This is Monday. This is like the weekly low of the 29th. So I have to check silver to make sure this is actually valid, that's what I was supposed to be talking about. Yeah, SMTs are going to validate and invalidate protected lows and protected highs. You guys know I talk about that all the time. And we actually did have an SMT. So this actually is valid. So if you're deeming for this week as this weekly low as protected because of that SMT, you're going to be trading internals. One internal on the daily time frame is going to be here, and we'll just deem this as our first example. So you want to see the daily, basically the idea of this internal is you want to see this daily low be swept, and you want to see this low be protected, right? And then you can go on the time frames and find like internals. So then with this level, this daily low, I would have traded this rejection block and had my stop here at this low. So this is perfect. This would be a loss. So now I'm going to identify. We'll do stop losses red, entry points blue. Okay, so I would have be looking at 969, so 0.79 of this 4-hour OB or 4-hour rejection block. What am I doing? Blue is entry. Wait, how are we doing on time? Holy crap. Again, you guys know with gold, the highest level I'm going to take with OTE is 705. 7.9 is what I'm usually taking with rejection blocks and internals, right? We want to find time frame alignment with this though. Hourly, nice. 15-minute, nice. Okay, we have like all this alignment here. No, I wouldn't have took that. Okay, cool. So now going back to the 1 minute, let's just see how this played. So my entry would have been 969. Depending on where this low is. So 3.4 points would be where you'd want your SL. I would probably run a 2-point stop in this case though. And you can see it did deliver like 7 points, which is still like a 4R. Like you can see we in the first minute we delivered 6 points, which is like $600, which because I run a mini. And delivered 7 points, but at the end of the day, it got stopped out, right? I don't know where my draw would have been. I'm not gonna break that all down, but yeah, there's a loser. So I would have lost 200 on that. Now the in-depth one would be going back to the 4-hour and deeming this low as the internal instead of the daily, right? This is just getting into like a much deeper discount for this internal. So exact same case, we're gonna be trading off of this 4-hour. We have 705 and 79. So I'm gonna mark out both those and then find a level off time frame alignment. 63.5 is gonna be the first entry point, and then 961.1 is gonna be the second entry point, right? White is where we want to see price respect. Red is where we want to see price sweep. Blue is entry. We're just gonna do that. We've got the America flag. Hourly, pretty similar. I think it might be exactly. Yeah, it's okay. So time frame alignment on the hourly, the 4-hour, the daily, we'll go to the 30-minute. Alignment, 15-minute. Okay, this is where we get juicy. 15-minute, we have this low sitting right under this 963.5. Internals, it's basically finding a pinpoint level with a liquidity sweep to get an aggressive push with very minimal drawdown. I would long 963.5 with a 2 to 2.5 point stop. Let's see if it's first 2 trades were wins, third trade was a loss. Let's see if the fourth trade is a win or a loss. Okay, 2.5. Wait, yeah, I would have gave this 2.5 3 points. Okay. Anyways, internals, and we had a time-based soup with the hourly. Dude, I'm just so gifted at what I do. Okay, 96 3.5, 2.5. I probably would have gave it 2.5 3 points. We'll do 3 points to do me down a little bit deeper. Draws. Who knows, bro? At this point, does it really matter? I also see another internal. Watch this. I'm about to ping pong. This is why I want to backtest, because I know a lot of you guys are probably like, bro, you're not doing this shit. You're not doing this shit. Look at my executions, pal. 66.6. Look what we have. Actually, well, this high already mitigates. So I would probably just take a tick above 6.7 because we have these internals. What is that? Oh, is that New York Open? Or no, I don't. The hell is that? I have no clue. But yeah, this is a valid short if we have an SMT, right? Stop. I mean, the idea would be this high is protected. I would have gave it 2.5 3 points. Could have got away with a 2-point stop. And that in the first candle delivered, or the first 2 minutes, 16 points. Like, I'm telling y'all, learn internals, bro. Let's actually see if we had an SMT. So this was at Thursday, 11:30. Silver, Thursday. Oh yeah, we hit 30 minutes. It's good. I know nobody's watching this right now. Like, I feel like I'm just talking to myself at this point. Thursday the 16th at 11:30. Thursday the 16th at 11:30. Wait, PM or AM? PM. 11:30 PM. Oh wait, let's go to 30-minute just to make this is getting way too complicated. We're not gonna do all that. Okay, anyways, the idea would be if we had an SMT here, or if we had an SMT with either this high or this high, depends on the time frame, but an SMT that would have been a valid short as well. So you can see this 936.5. I showed you 4 random examples. 3 out of 4 were wins, and they all were above around a 10 RR. How much more can I do? How much more can I do? How much more can I do? This video is gonna get 50 views, and I guarantee the 50 people that are that actually, or let's just do this. The 50 people that watched it, 5 of you guys are probably still watching this ending right now. 5 people are probably ever gonna see this full video, which is crazy to think about. And internals is like one of the biggest things on my model of like where I find, especially gold, where I'm finding like these really pinpointed entries like this, executions like this was an internal on gold. I know my entry was right here because I added contracts because I was live when I took this trade. My level was 1. I have a like I can literally, holy shit, we're getting in depth. Hopefully this doesn't end my video. Alrighty, what is up, y'all? I have it clipped, bro. Like I have this shit clipped. And watch, I'm gonna break down why I didn't actually take why it's a point difference. I was live in Discord, and I'm actually about to get entered on my second contract on this long. Anyways, I was live on Discord. I was trying to put a limit at 137.8 here. It's like a 1 minute rejection block as my entry because I was talking to the live. That dude's so goated. Anyways, you get the gist. So I'm gonna bust it down. I'm gonna do one more example for you guys because the people who made it this long are truly trying to learn. So let's do go to the 4 hour. Let's do a short example. But do you see no, let's call it. It's 30 minutes. No one's making it this far. Anyways, that is going to be the video. Internals, let me know if you guys got questions. Let me know. I don't know if I said it in the beginning of this video or if I did it in the recording that I didn't. I had my mic muted the whole time. I was thinking I do it in class sometimes. If you guys want to see a video of me back testing, I saw FX Replays does like practice to pass an account. I'm paying for my students to use FX Replays, so I saw that and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. So if you guys want me to back test on a video, passing an account or blowing it, I'll do one take. I can do that. But yeah, let me know if you guys got questions on internals. It gets much deeper than this. If you want a part 2 of me more going into depth on like identifying levels to align with internals and going more off like invalidation, validating, let me know. And if you made it to literally the end right now, drop a emoji or some or just comment TM all caps if you made it to the end. And I got a little surprise, a little gift for you if you're in the Discord. So tap in. Have a good one, y'all.